Hello. This is take two of this video. I should probably just learn how to edit at this point. It might be easier than letting me talk for about 5 minutes, realizing I'm very disjointed and restarting. First off, you can notice I'm wearing something other than sleep clothes for once. I actually still fit this, even though it is snug a little bit in parts. I bought it right before quarantine, so I was kind of surprised to see that it's still somewhat flattering. Um, yeah, today I'm going to talk just kind of openly about my mental health journey during this time, during quarantine, in hopes of giving comfort to people who might be experiencing the same and might not speak so openly about it. I'm also, by me speaking openly about it, I'm providing space for someone who can relate. If you want to reach out to me, you're more than welcome to. I'm quite a good listener. I do tend to make the conversation back to me somehow, but I always just can only speak about my own ways of relating to the world. And so if you do need to talk, I'm here. I started this video and I've mapped out kind of, can't see, all of the things that I talked about in the previous video, but they were a little bit disjointed, and I kind of want to do it more narratively. So I'm feeling really good right now. And this is because on Sunday, we had a dinner party with like 4 friends, and I socialized for the first time in a long time. And then I also went out for a coffee today with Katie to walk and talk. And yeah, I'm just like really in a good place now, or getting to a good place now. So before I start, I know that it's that everyone now gives trigger warnings, so I will just say there is a trigger warning for this video, and it's to talk about suicide. I don't think that I need any other trigger warnings, but yeah, just know that that is going to be talked about here. So, I have been struggling, much like everyone else at this period. I think when quarantine first started, I had really grandiose plans of I'm going to get my life together, I'm going to work out and get ripped, I'm going to, I have so much more time to do all these things, which then put this pressure on myself to make something happen. And then I started to fall short, and then I started to really beat myself up about that. Now, before I go into kind of the whole mental health journey, I will say, on a positive note, before I start, I keep thinking back at when this started, and I was like, oh, all the things I wish I had done. And I've stopped doing that, and now I'm starting to think about what I have done. So, since quarantine started, I spent 6 to 12 hours cleaning my kitchen, including the oven and everything. I have compiled possibly a poetry chapbook. I took my language test for Icelandic. I have consumed more music in this last year. My Spotify said I found 875 new artists. I'm like digging making playlists. It's so fun for me. It's really good to just put people in a good place mentally via lyrics and things like that. So there are things that are happening. So I think sometimes maybe don't think about the things you have not accomplished, but try to think of the things that you might have. Even just, me contemplating my life and taking this journey, that has been something that is accomplished during this time. Also, before I go any further, I kind of talk about this at the end of the last video, but I've never seen a psychologist. I've never gone to a doctor. I don't have a diagnosis. So, and I'm not about to self-diagnose or try to say that I understand completely people with clinical depression or clinical, diagnosable anxiety issues. I'm not in that boat. I think I'm very average in many parts of my life, and it also includes mental health. So, yeah, I have these dips. I'm sure if I talk to someone, we could find something wrong with me. But I think for the most part, I can actually critically think and rationalize and talk myself out of any kind of hole mentally that I dig myself into. That being said, reaching out has also helped facilitate this process. So by talking very openly about these things, that does make it easier for me. I find that, yeah, I can work with it once it's tangible and put out into reality. So when quarantine started, like I said, I had these really big ambitions, and it kind of went away very fast. So first, I started, I was very lethargic, and during this whole period, because I'm feeling like I don't have a job, I'm not seeing a lot of friends, I'm not getting these validating things that tell me who I am. So I'm a lot more, who I am is a very free flowing thought right now, because I don't have things that can, people who knew me or people to hold me to certain standards or things like that. That is all out the window. So I've been having this weird existential crisis also during this whole period, which has been really hard. So I've just been really lethargic, no energy, and when I do put in effort, I often think, what's the point? Um, Prior to Sunday, going to the dinner party at Berglund's house, I did not physically leave the house for 1 week straight, and I think in the last 2 weeks, that week and the week before, I maybe left the house for 5 minutes for groceries once or twice. And I'm not going to say that the weeks before that are very much different either. I was forcing myself to go on walks in the very beginning. That has kind of slowed down. So I know that lack of exercise, being stuck in the house with, stuffy air, that does already take a toll on you. And then because I'm so lethargic, I'm not eating as healthy as I was. I've gained a lot of weight. I think everyone has gained weight during this time. And instead of being nice to ourselves, we just beat ourselves up. Um, I think I would not be struggling with that. I don't care about weight gain for the most part. It's mostly just that the clothes that I wore before quarantine are now not fitting, and I've never had to shop for bigger sizes, and so I'm not really prepared for that um, yet. And even though I say I don't care, it is something that is in the back of my mind, replaying constantly. So that has been an issue. Um, my anxiety has died down somewhat, but there was a period in which I only had told Joe prior to today, and then I talked to Katie about it. But um, for the first time in my life, I actually had suicidal thoughts. Maybe 2 months ago now, month and a half, 2 months ago, which was scary. That was the first time in my life that I have ever actually thought about suicide, and I don't think I would ever do it. I know I would never do it, but it was very interesting to have that idea or that thought and not have a trigger for it. It just kind of came, and it was just kind of there. I'm used to, if you're sad and it passes your mind, okay, that has a direct cause and effect. But for this, it caught me off guard because I've never been that person. You know, I've had low points, but I've never thought about that seriously. And that was the first time. Luckily, as soon as I had the thought, I did talk to Joe pretty much the same day. And that helped make it into something real that I could deal with, that I could process. I didn't keep it in, so I was able to move from it quickly, luckily. Now, obviously, people who have clinical problems, things like this, it's not the same. So I can't compare or know your experience. But this is my experience. So, yeah, um, what can I say about the anxiety, about the weight gain, about the thoughts, about the lethargic feelings, about what's the point of life, about any of this? I can say that the more that you talk about it does become easier. The more that you say it out loud, it becomes very real, and it is something then you can kind of work with. I don't know if any of these words are comforting or anything like this. My hope is that by sharing this, it's just to get people more openly talking about how they feel. And, life gets heavy sometimes, and we just need to talk about those heavy feelings. And it's going to be difficult and it's not fun. But I think there's a lot of people who have these kinds of feelings. We don't talk about them as a society. And therefore, everyone kind of feels alone in a certain boat that they're not alone in. That we just don't talk about it so openly. So I'm here to talk about it openly and give you some comfort and let you know you can talk to me and show that you can struggle and you can get your way out, kind of. I've socialized in the last 2 days. My mom has called me bipolar in the past. I do have swings, so this could be an upswing and it could come crashing down. um, I don't think that that's hopefully not the case. I just think that I've just been treading water for so long that I'm getting sick of it. And now that I'm kind of breaking the seal of socializing and doing things that I haven't done in so long, and then starting to become uncomfortable to do, that now I'm starting to get like the will to live, the purpose again, the feeling of living. But yeah, it's really hard. I think it's really hard for anyone in Iceland right now. The sunlight is quickly fading, on top of the financial struggles, on top of looking for jobs, on top of life, just everything. Everything is adding up this whole year: elections and pandemic and fighting with friends and family over politics and pandemic, and just, it's been a really long fucking year. I will say that. And I think that 2021 will be better, but it's going to still be difficult. And it's going to be really difficult once society kind of goes back to normal to navigate this new world that we're in and get our groove back. But I do have faith that we will all get there soon enough. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna cut that video off. I think for the first time ever, I'm gonna go live today as well. I'm thinking at like 3:34 my time, so 5 hours behind in East Coast, and then if you're elsewhere, you can figure it out from there. Um, it'll probably be just to listen to some music, talk about whatever. I just want to do it once, just to try it. And yeah, I'm gonna start making videos again more often. I'm gonna push myself to do that because I do think that there is good that comes out of this, and it makes me feel better. And I think I like to relate to people. It's funny because I'm not taking this vlogging thing as serious as other social media people, so I'm not hashtagging. I'm not. But when you only get like one like on a video, sometimes you feel like, what's the motivation? Is anyone even watching this? But it's funny because as I have conversations with friends and family and stuff, people will touch in about it. So it's like people are actually watching this for 15 minutes to talk about how I struggle mentally, or my horrible memories of childhood. So there is a purpose other than just for myself, but I am feeling like I'm helping in some ways. So that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it off and maybe make another video tomorrow. Maybe continue into the positive mind thoughts and trying to push myself in that direction. I did make one video reading some of my poetry, but I didn't like it, so I cut it. Maybe I'll make another video of that. But anyway, maybe I'll see you on live, and if not, you have a wonderful day, and know you're not alone. Reach out if you need it, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.